Situated off the southeast coast of Africa, Madagascar is the fourth largest island in the world. Having developed in isolation, the island nation is famed for its unique wildlife. Yet despite a wealth of natural resources and a tourism industry driven by its unique environment, it remains one of the world's poorest and is heavily dependent on foreign aid. Today, I'm going to take you to this unknown nation, have a bit of adventure, and at the same time learn some English. If you don't know me already, my name is Edith, your IELTS instructor, a traveler, and a digital nomad. Welcome to my channel. Although located only 250 miles from the African continent, Madagascar population primarily is not related to the African peoples, but more related to those of Indonesia. News reported that the Madagascar first settlers might have been Indonesians who traveled across the sea and settled there. Malagasy is the language they speak. They have this interesting, unique mix of Asian and African culture. The Malagasy peoples do not consider themselves Africans, but yet they have this continuous bond with France because it was once its colonial ruler. On top of that, the tourists mainly come from France, so the more educated locals will be able to speak French, even though it's not their official language. This time we are visiting an island called Nosy-Be. It's located on the northwest coast of Madagascar. To go to Nosy-Be, it took us 2 days from Japan. First, we arrived in Seoul, Korea. Nowadays, there are plenty of ways to survive long layovers. One of my favorites is to stay in the lounge of the airlines. A lot of lounges can be used by joining the membership or applying for certain credit cards. Paying a small fee, you can even bring a guest with you. Most of the lounges provide food and drinks, stable Wi-Fi, and comfortable environment away from the announcements, and noisy environment in the common area. After Seoul, I got on the long-haul flight to Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, then transferred to Nosy-Be. These days, if your final destination is Africa, you will probably do a transfer in Ethiopia. A lot of connection flights go from here. Nosy-Be is the largest and busiest beach destination, which is very popular among the French and Italian. For us, one of the main purposes of coming to Nosy-Be is to join the liveaboard. Liveaboard can basically mean living aboard, a boat that is designed for residence. It can be a yacht, a sailboat, and a cruise. This time, our journey starts with a catamaran boat. We picked a boat especially designed for diving. Every morning, we set off for our dives. We enjoy the sun, the marine creatures, and good company. No doubt living aboard for 5 days is a luxurious way of travel. Since we are so far away from shore, occasionally, the coastal villagers approach the boat to sell their catch from the mangrove forest.
Dans la mer ou... S'il n'y a pas les hommes, qu'est-ce qui mange les crabes? Les oiseaux quand ils sont petits? Pardon. Oui, les oiseaux. Quand ils sont petits, mais quand c'est gros comme ça, il y a des animaux qui peuvent les manger.
Besides being an excellent chef, he's also a fantastic angler. Every day, he fishes different types of fish for lunch and dinner. The skippers told us that malaria can get quite serious here. In fact, he nearly died 2 months ago, contracting this disease. and it has already taken his brother's life a few years ago. Malaria is spread by mosquitoes. People who get malaria are typically very sick with high fevers, second chills, and flu-like illness. Some travelers would opt for anti-malarial drugs before going to the third world countries. For us, we don't really want to have side effects from these drugs, so we use alternative measures like insect repellent, long sleeves, long pants, and sleeping in a mosquito-free setting. Vocab list: isolation, wildlife, heavily dependent on, foreign aid, settlers, peoples, continuous bond, colonial ruler, layovers, lounge, announcements, long-haul flight, transfer, connection flights, live aboard, residence, luxurious, approach, mangrove forest, skippers, malaria, contract, is spread by, flu-like, third world countries, side effects, alternative measures, insect repellent, mosquito-free setting. Being on a catamaran makes me feel like the world is my oyster. What is a better feeling than this? But hardship builds character. Time for us to find another adventure. First, let's go back to the Ecolodge that arranged our dive trips. An Ecolodge is a tourist accommodation facility designed to have minimum impact on the environment. But of course, the amenities provided cannot be compared to the 5-star hotel, but instead it provides the bare minimum. As one of the poorest countries in the world, the Malagasy people use the natural resources to sustain their livelihood. We can see that fishing is a big part of life. They do what they can to survive in nature. Here are the dry fish we saw on the beach, sometimes even sharks.
This is a shark, yeah.
People are poor, but they are the friendliest people. I cannot help but make some friends on the way. Local people live a self-sufficient life. Most of the houses are made of raw earth. The roof is made of straw. In the past, this architecture was the same, whether in town or in the countryside. But nowadays, most of the houses in town have become modern, while those in the countryside remained traditional. Traveling within the country is no easy task. There are plenty of potholes on the road. It can get really bumpy, and our journey can turn into 3 hours because of this. And the road can be dusty and contaminated because of the construction sites. They are building a new road to facilitate development. The locals use something called taxi bus to travel around. is a truck loaded with baggage, people, and chicken. I highly recommend going with a mask to protect yourself because of the polluted air. Tuk-tuk is also popular here. Lakana is a traditional sailing vessel, using wind to propel the boat, but most Lakana are now equipped with motor engines. People say Malagasy is the master of sailing. Sailing, the art of moving a boat by harnessing the waves and the wind. If you haven't learned the technical skills, the wind can flip the boat in the blink of an eye. We joined an excursion to the Emerald Sea, and we stopped by the nearby island, and the fisherman caught 3 fish easily and put them on the grill for us. To be honest, this was one of the most organized excursions we have ever joined. We even have a hut to stay out of the sun and enjoy our meals. Madagascar's flora and fauna is special. The must-see animals here include chameleons, lemurs, geckos. According to the guide, there are different species of chameleons and lemurs in Madagascar. Some of them are even nocturnal. My favorite is chameleon. There are some species of chameleon that are endemic in Madagascar, ranging from almost 69 centimeters to a few inches. Chameleons use camouflage, the ability to blend into their surroundings, to hide from predators such as snakes and birds. But in general, they rely on their natural color, a greenish brown, to blend in. To see the animals in the wild in the north, we visited Lakana Reserve and Amba Mountain National Park. You will have to pay the entrance fee before entering, and it is compulsory to take a guide with you. Usually, they are very well trained and knowledgeable. Vocab list: the world is my oyster. Hardship builds character. Ecolodge. Amenities. Bare minimum. Livelihood. Self-sufficient. Potholes. Contaminate. Vessel. Propel. The master of something. Harness. In the blink of an eye. Excursion. Flora and fauna. Chameleon. Nocturnal. Endemic. Camouflage. Predators. Blend in. Compulsory. If you would like to support me or to have more of this kind of content, please click the like button and subscribe. Remember the script and exercise down below. I'll see you next time. Cheers!